Did you know that over 50% of bananas are wasted every year? Let's see if we can turn that waste into garden gold. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to deal with your banana waste, and at the end of the video, I'll show you a 4th technique that will optimize the nutritional value of your banana waste, turning it into banana treasure for the garden. The beginner gardener, you spend a lot of time digging through the internet, checking out YouTube videos, trying to find the best fertilizers, organic or chemical, whatever you so decide to use in your garden. Well, in our gardens, we try to stick with as much organic or natural ways of gardening as physically possible. So with digging through this for the last couple of years, I have found that there are really 3 techniques that a lot of people use, and they're mostly effective, but some of them are really not as effective. So my problem with this is which one of these techniques is the most efficient and which one delivers the most nutritional value and least effort to complete. So why are banana peels and bananas so great for the garden? Well, they're high in potassium and magnesium, and both are great for root health and strong stems. I've combed through and I've figured out that there are really 3 techniques, but there's a 4th one that I haven't seen a lot on that we're going to go ahead and show you how to do today. So the first technique, of course, is the one we've all seen, where you just take the banana peel or banana and you throw it in the ground, and then you put your plant on top of it. It breaks down, the plant picks up the nutrition, bada boom, you're done. No muss, no fuss, completely ready to rock. Well, the problem with this is, first off, a banana peel can take up to 2 years to break down, which is insane. And I don't mean break down, you go out there and it's gone. I'm talking to the nutritional value for your plant. It could take up to 2 years. And in all honesty, it is the least beneficial for your plants because it does not actually release all that nutrition to the plant when you need it. It'll still have all the nutritional value there once it's broke down, but it's not going to be there in the time frame that you need due to the fact it takes almost 2 years. Some of the drawbacks to this specific technique is, of course, pests, because it's going to draw your local possum, raccoon, insects. And what a lot of people don't know is that when you're breaking down a carbon like a banana peel, it actually reduces the nitrogen because the microorganisms are using the nitrogen as fuel to break down the banana peel. It can also cause root rot because it draws a lot of moistures, and as it is rotting, of course, it's going to rot the root of the plant as well. It could also be a cause for a weakened root system, so it's doing the polar opposite of what we were expecting it to do in the first place by putting it in the ground. Of course, as I mentioned before, it could take up to 2 years, and so the nutrients are not readily available for the plant at the time. So if you go out there and throw them in maybe at the end of season or at the very beginning of season, you might see some nutritional value, but you're really going to lose a whole lot of it before you even actually need it, or when the plants do need it, it will not be available. Technique number 2 is, of course, composting. We all know composting. You go out there, you throw the banana peel in the compost pile, you let it do its thing, and bada boom, you got a lot of good nutrients from the banana peel. The downside, just the composting, of course, is that it is the slowest. You're going to throw it out there in the pile. It's going to take 3 to 6 months unless you're hot composting. Then you might be able to get some here and there. But still, in that situation, you're still going to wait about 2 years before those banana peels are really bioavailable for the plants. It may break down and you can go spread it, but it's still going to take time to break down in the soil once you put the compost out, even once it gets broke down so far. I do have to say it's probably the second easiest way next to burying it in the ground to compost banana peels. So another no muss, no fuss. If you're not necessarily familiar with composting as a beginner gardener, so what you're doing is essentially mixing nitrogen and carbon together, or browns and greens, and using the microgreens in the soil to go ahead and break both those components down to make a rich soil amendment or dirt. So another plus side to, of course, composting your banana peels is the fact that you're actually mixing other nutrients in as well while composting just simply the banana peel. So it's super effective and super efficient in the ways of, besides time management, because of course you can't really, there's ways to speed up composting, but it's still not going to be ready at the time you're like, oh, I need a bloom booster. So the drawbacks to composting, of course, is the slow decomposition, which, of course, is still a 2-year breakdown on a banana peel. You also have the pests from before, whereas in your insects and your neighborhood possum decided it needs a banana peel. You could also be introducing pesticides and herbicides to your compost pile if you are not buying organic bananas, because they do spray things on there that could, in fact, hinder your entire compost pile by just adding a banana peel to it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And of course, it is reducing the nitrogen because it's a high carbon. So this is the one I see on YouTube all the time for YouTube shorts. And that is, of course, banana peel tea. You take your banana peels, you put them in a jar, you add hot water, you add cold water, you let it sit for 2 or 3 days, you shake it, you don't shake it, you leave it in the sun. The list goes on for all these wonderful techniques for why this is the best way to compost and most nutritionally available method there is. But in all honesty, it does have its drawbacks. So now let's talk about the drawbacks of this technique. So first and foremost, it's no matter what, that banana peel is going to take 2 years to break down completely to be nutritionally available in regular water in a mason jar. Yes, you will get some nutrients, but you are wasting a whole lot of them by throwing them out or composting them or whatever. When with this last technique that I'm going to show you, you can legit get all the nutrients in less than 3 weeks. So you would think that shaking a banana peel in water would cause our unwanted pests to not come around. But in all honesty, you still have that smell and so on and so forth. That's, of course, going to attract gnats, flies, and the neighborhood possum. This can also cause it to have an unbalanced nutrient profile due to the simple fact, try to say that 3 times fast, due to the simple fact that you're not really given enough time to break down in any way, shape, or form. The other issue with it is once you rehydrate that banana peel in water and give it a good shake or whatever method you've seen on the reels, it could be releasing pesticides and herbicides into that water, which you're going to go dump on your plants, and it could stunt them. I'm not saying all of them are like that, and I'm not one of the big, against all of that nonsense. I personally don't use it because it just doesn't work for me, and it actually seems like it's more work to use the chemicals versus just adding organic matter and monitoring what my plants are doing. And if you've left a banana peel in water for 2 or 3 days or longer, depending on what you think is going to be the most effective, it's got a smell. It kind of stinks. Right. Technique number 4, and possibly the best technique in my opinion, and the most effective for nutritional value and plant readily available nutrients, is of course banana tea. Well, that's the same thing you just said wasn't that great. Right. But there's a way to make banana tea that's effective, and there's a way to make a banana peel tea that is not effective. And we are going to go through the effective way of dealing with making banana peel tea. So step 1 is you're going to get a big old 5-gallon bucket of essentially organic bananas. You can go to the co-op, buy them. You can go to the store and buy them, whatever you want to do. What we do is we save a whole bunch of peels in the freezer. Rotted bananas that have gone a little too far past. The old lady normally uses them for banana bread, but sometimes I steal them to do this. One will be, of course, stuffing as many bananas into the blender as physically possible, preferably organic, but do what you gotta do. Then you're gonna want to add enough water to the bananas to liquefy them. Once you've got your bananas liquefied, you're going to want to add them to a 5-gallon fermentation bucket or container of any kind, really, but I'm using my fermentation bucket because it's a lot easier, and during the process of breakdown, there might be a little bit of a smell. This way, there isn't one, and if you need a video on how to make one, go ahead and check out the description. I'll put one down there, and I'll probably put one right about somewhere. Then you're going to want to go ahead and add 2 cups of molasses to the blender, and then 3 cups of LABs, lactic acid bacteria, which I also have a video for. I'll put it up here, also down in the description below if you want to learn how to make it out of milk. Then, of course, just add enough water to the blender to clean it out and add that to the bucket as well. You're talking about 800 to 100 or 1,000 milliliters per container, which ends up being a quart jar for, well, me. Once you've got the entire mixture done, you're going to want to stir it every 2 to 3 days, so that way it will speed up the process of the breakdown. And then this will be ready in 2 to 3 weeks to be used as a plant booster. Whenever you go out to spray it on your plants as a full year spray, hold the phone. Make sure you strain this well. If you are using any type of pump sprayer, backpack sprayer, anything along that means that's going to have a filtration system on it that may pick up small particles. I don't really have to worry about that because we use a different system for watering, but also when overhead watering, make sure that you do not spray the leaves during the daytime because you could possibly burn them. I use it all on the bottom, Not often do I use a foliar spray, so I don't really have those issues. During the process of getting ready to go spray these on your plants, you're going to want to add about 5 cups of potash fertilizer to it, which will add a lot of magnesium to banana peel tea. If you need a video for that, I'll go ahead and link one in the description as well, and I'll probably put one right up here as well, just to go ahead and make it easier for you to find it. So we've covered 3 techniques and saved the best for last. So if you like the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you like content like this, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you have any other fertilizers or any other garden hacks you'd like me to see me try, go ahead and let me know. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.